boy, oh boy, do we got something awesome planned for you guys today. Behind me is a 2020 Komatsu 380 wheel loader.
With not even paint off the bucket yet.
Equipment sales and service is a business that is beside us here on Carp Road. You guys always see the Komatsu machines parked over on the other yard. That is them. When they found out that our 450 Komatsu loader, this one here, needed a bunch of parts and work done to it, it needs a ton of, oh, sounds like the bucket's getting its first scratch. This loader has been an unbelievable loader, but it has 36,000 hours on it, almost 37,000 hours. So it needs to go in and get some work done to it, and we can't be without a loader. So I reached out to my good friends over at ESS, and they said, yep, we got something that we can give you, because if I do go to purchase a loader, that will be the loader that I purchased. We tried a 320 last year, but the 380 is a better size. It has a 3.5 cubic yard bucket on it. We are using a loader with a 5-yard bucket. We don't necessarily need that. The only thing that I do need is lift. So over the next couple days, we're going to be trying this brand new 380 and letting you guys know exactly what we think of it. We have the sales guy coming over tomorrow morning to tell us everything. Shout out Peter. He's gonna be telling us everything about it. We're gonna play around with it a little bit in the yard right now tonight, not put too many hours on it, but tomorrow we'll put it to the test and we'll catch you guys then. We're currently taking the screener for a walk. That's why I'm up here. Al's back there holding the controller, which moves these tracks. I'm just going along for the drive. Rather than moving 15,000 cubic yards of soil, it's more cost effective and fuel efficient to just move the screener. So that's what we're doing. We're moving it to a new location in the yard. That's one handy thing that I like about this Warrior 1800 is the fact that it is so mobile. All right, it's Sunday. I'm here at the yard alone. Nobody else is here. We have put about 20 hours on this loader now. When I say we, I mean Al. I got all his input, as well as, I'm not gonna lie, I spent a lot of time actually just watching him operate it, listening to it, watching how it goes across the yard. I think I'm ready to give a bit of a review on it. Again, like I said, I only have 20 hours on it, so it's a 20-hour review. It's not like a 6-month review, or I bought this and I've been using it for a while. So this is my opinion on the machine. We're gonna go through it together. I'm gonna show you some interesting things that I think are very cool on it, as well as some things that I think that they could improve on it. Let's do that.
All right, so visually starting with the outside, you guys can see that we definitely took some paint off the bucket. It was completely brand new and yellow when we got it, but obviously that's gonna happen whenever you're pushing around material. Okay, so one really cool thing that we found out actually whenever the sales guy was over here, he was telling us, now on majority of other loaders, this piece here on the front end and this piece here are normally a couple separate pieces with welds.
And now we all know with welds create weak points.
So what Komatsu did was they actually made this a one molded casted piece, which is really awesome and creates extra strength for the front end. It is a 4.25 cubic yard bucket. It's a Craig bucket.
Our 450 has a Craig bucket on it as well. Walking around the outside here,
I'll show you some things that I think are pretty neat. You obviously have your front end lockout, that red bar there. It flips forward. You put the pin down in there. Up top here, you have your air filter all there. You got some mirrors on the outside, lots of visibility and glass. We will go inside here shortly. You got your steps going up, your grab bar. Okay, so coming around to the back of the machine, now you might be asking, well, it looks like that door opens up, but I don't know how you would do that with the fender.
So let me show you what Komatsu has done here in order to get access in here. It's really cool. So what you do to get this fender out of the way, there's this little lever here. You're gonna pull up on it. There's a little tab underneath. You pull down and you just pull. And this entire fender pulls out, allowing you to walk in here, gain access to then open up this. Now this port door here actually has two different phases. So right now it's on the middle. I'm a little taller, so what I can do is pull down and go up one more. Now I'm 6'3" and I can stand in here. I can look at all my stuff. You can see all your rads for your AC, your coolant, all that sort of stuff is on this side. But pretty interesting feature here. It gives you a lot of room, gets you a lot of access to get in here. Okay, so we've come over here to the other side. On the other side, I have it set to the middle right now, but what you got is you can check your oils and everything on this side down here. And then this is actually where you fill up with fuel. So you open up this little cap, this, and there you go. You put your diesel fuel, your dyed diesel in there, and she looks very full. So that's what this side looks like pulled out. Pretty much the same as the other one, just has different stuff on this side for you to look at. So we are now on, I guess we could call it the passenger side. This is where you fill up with the DEF fluid. This is a tier 4, I believe, motor. So that means that it does take DEF fluid, which, you know, I feel like people talk about that so much still nowadays, and it's like everything's coming with it now. I know that some motors are going to tier 5, I think they're calling it, and what it does, it actually just has a high output burn to it, and it burns off as it's running. This doesn't necessarily stop and do a regen. It does kind of burn off as you're going, but it does take DEF fluid, and it takes it underneath here. That's where you fuel up there, and you got your little gauge for it in here, so it's pretty full. So then just to close that, lock it, drop that, and you're good. And you can actually use your Komatsu key to lock this so that people don't get in there and try to steal it. So that's pretty much the entire outside. Let's get on the inside. I want to show you guys what it sounds like, the pressurized cab. I'm not sure if it is pressurized, but it is super, super quiet. So let's hop up in the cab. One thing before we actually get in the cab that I want to say, and I always tell you guys this about machinery, they didn't send me this to be like, oh, make sure to say good things about this. We needed a loader while our other loader got fixed, so I'm not going to sit here and completely just shit on it. But I do want to point out some stuff that if Komatsu sees this, that maybe they could work on. One of these things being the door. So I'm 6'3", so I can stand down here, grab the door, pull it open, and lock it shut. Now, the problem is not everybody is 6'3". So what happens when Al or somebody else gets in the machine, they walk up the steps, they get to about this step here, and then you're into this awkward thing where your body's here, you're trying to hold on to the grab bars, and you got to swing this door open right into your face, and you got to do one of these things where you're holding on, leaning back, and then also trying to kick the door back. I know that that might sound weird, but I've noticed that it is super hard for people to get into that aren't tall. I don't know if you could swing the door an opposite way, but that's one thing that I've picked up on. All right, now we're in the cab. One really awesome thing that compared to our 450, now rather I know that this is a brand new model, and I know they mostly come like this, but it is really nice to have not only the seat on air, but the entire controls are on air as well. And one really cool thing about the controls is that if you pull this knob down here, you can actually slide your controls forward. So when I first got in it, I was actually running it, and I found it really weird because my hand was kind of positioned back here. But then Al goes, well, no, he goes, you can actually sit there and run it. He goes, pull that lever down below. So I moved it forward, which was so much nicer. You can adjust your seat any which way you want. I sit normally back because I am taller. And you can sit here. I'm super comfy, as you guys can tell, 6'3". I got my controls here. And it's all around just a really comfy setup having it that way. And again, it's sitting on air too, so that's nice. Okay, it's super hot, so let's fire it up. Now, one thing that I want to do is show you guys how quiet the cab is. So I'm going to put you guys outside, and we're going to rev it up a couple times, start it, and then I'm going to put you guys inside, rev it up, and do the same thing, and show you guys the comparison outside v inside. Let's do it. Okay, so that was outside listening to it, and I think you guys can even tell just by the way I'm talking right now, it's super quiet in here, but let's fire it up and I'll show you guys how quiet it is in cab. Okay, we're running. I'll give it a few revs. We're going 2,500 RPM right there. Super quiet. I don't even have to yell. This was in the 450, like I'm talking like if I was talking to somebody sitting directly beside me right now. That is awesome. And the AC is on. Okay, so that is the cab. Let's show you guys some features about it. So we have a completely digital readout screen. It's hard for you guys to see it. Basically, it's just a digital readout screen. It has your gears on it, your fuel, your DEF fluid, the hours. There's 25 hours on it. Over here, you've got your light switch, your ride control, which is unbelievable on this machine, and your quick coupler bucket disconnect. Over here to the right of you, you have your AC controls. That's all of them there. You got your toggle switch here for your left and right hand turn signals. Over here you have your gear shifter on the left side of the steering wheel, and then your gear selector. One interesting thing as we move over into the cluster over here is not only can you shift gears on the steering wheel, but you can actually shift gears here with this toggle, which is really, really cool. You got to make sure that you have it selected on here, and then you can actually use this toggle. So when you're operating, you're pretty much operating with these fingers here, and then your pinky's going over here down and selecting what gear you want to go into. That's your bucket lockout, so if you try to move the controls right now, it won't work. You got to hit this down and then pull up, and then you can move your bucket. Because this is a quick coupler bucket, you do have more play in it, and that's why you have that kind of shakiness to it. Here, as you can see, we have the rear view camera right here. That's my truck in behind us. You can adjust the brightness on it. You can go down or you can go up. We run it up because it's easier to see like that. Cup holder here, armrest here. Other than that, let's just show you guys what it's like operating inside of it. We're gonna scoop around the topsoil pile right now and just clean up some of the pebbles that drop whenever we're screening. And you guys can see what it's like running inside of it, how smooth and quiet it is. Hydraulics are super fast on this machine. All right, parking brakes off. Got my steering wheel where I want it. It's super quiet. I can't believe how quiet it is. Like, it doesn't even feel or sound like you're running it, honestly. It's, yeah, very impressive machine. So we'll go up to the topsoil pile, we'll scoop around, and then we'll take some scoops of dirt. You got your auto level too as well, your level float. Like, honestly, I was saying this the first day we got it. The loudest part about this machine is honestly the bucket. It's louder than the entire machine itself, which is really cool. Okay, we're digging a little deep. Didn't mean to do that. That's me error, not machine error. All right, we'll dump that. I do use the backup camera a lot. It's such an agile little loader. Like, I'm scooting around this pile like easy. Bring it over here and we'll dump. That's foot to the floor, dump, auto level, pull back, you'll see it stop, boom, there. Throw it in reverse, good to go. Okay, so we got some rain this weekend, so what we will do is mess with the soil a bit. I like fluffing it up generally, so let's do that. Automatically, this, I forgot to mention that as well, automatically this does shift down on for you. It knows that whenever you're digging into a pile, so it shifts down into gear number 1, which is nice. Our other loader does not do that. Again, I know I'm comparing it to something that's 20 years old, but that's just what I have to compare it against. So, throttle down, it eats into these piles. There's kind of like that second hesitation there's that split second where you go into the pile and then it gears down and really just grabs the ground and just sucks you into the pile. It's super impressive. All right, I don't know if you guys got that. What I was basically doing was showing you guys how smooth and how fast you can actually rip around the yard here in this thing. So this will automatically shift, like I said, for you. You get a bucket load of stuff. Look at this. Because of the ride control, we're doing 22 kilometers an hour here, and it's super smooth. And our yard is not smooth by any means. So you could go, you could grab this, pretend you're dumping your tailings, back. Oh, there's a truck pulling into the yard, we gotta load it, forward, bucket down, throttle down, and you're going. You're driving over to where it's going, driving over, we're doing 25. You would never do 25 kilometers an hour in our 450. Come here, gear down, go into the tailings pile, shift downs into one, push up this, get up on the pile, stack it up a bit, reverse, back down, and you're good to go. What a beautiful machine. All in all, this WA380 2020 Komatsu wheel loader with a 4 1/4 cubic yard bucket on it is a beautiful machine. Hydraulics are super fast. Now, fuel-wise on this loader, we were actually burning about 12.5 to 13, kind of 14-ish liters per hour on this machine. And all we were doing was we were moving topsoil with it. We weren't pulling heavy rock. We weren't digging into big banks that weren't fluffed up already. So it was actually really good on fuel. The DEF fluid didn't really move at all, but although we did top it up because we didn't want to send it back empty. So we actually tried this because our 450 is out getting fixed right now, getting a bunch of repairs that need to be done to it. It is still a beautiful loader, although it's high in hours. It's perfect for what we do. We got about 1,000 to 2,000 cubic yard of soil going out about a week here. If we needed something higher production and we were really ramping things up, this would be the next move. It will be the next move. I'm not interested in purchasing it right now, considering it's September now. I really don't need to carry these payments over the winter. Again, not allowed to talk about price with you guys, but it's around the same price as a Warrior 1800, a little less, but around the same price. Stuff is super expensive in this industry. Your overhead is super high. It's crazy. I guess everything in life today is super expensive, but awesome loader. Shout out to ESS, shout out to Komatsu, Peter, the salesman as well. Thank you for letting us try this. Thank you for letting us have it for a couple days. It's Sunday, it's time to go spend some time with the family. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your day as well. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed, giving the video a big thumbs up, leaving your comments down below. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care.
Now, I don't wanna be rude.
And of course, I didn't forget about you guys, the True Patriots channel, that watch the entire videos to the very end, which is right now. And if you are one of those True Patriots, I want you guys to comment down below, just buy it. Why are you commenting down below, just buy it? Well, sometimes I tell myself in my head, maybe I should just go ahead and just buy it. So if you guys watch the entire video to the very end, make sure to comment down below, just buy it. I appreciate you guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care.
With the music, I know, probably think about me all the time. Probably think you're drowning in the sorrow. Yeah.